Thank you.
How do you pronounce your name?
So it's Wageesh.
Wageesh Shrotriya.
Shrotriya, sir.
Okay. You lost your father.
Yes, sir.
What was he doing?
So he was the branch manager in State Bank of India.
Where?
So initially he was in Kanpur, then he was transferred to Atarra, near Banda.
Near Banda?
Banda district. Yes.
Okay. So, did you become from my college, Shrotriya College in 2014?
I did not know that, sir. Yes, I am from Kirmal College.
Of course, I passed out long time. You are not even born then. I am come from my college. I am from his college, that is Motilal Naval College, in 2016.
Yes, sir.
So, and in 2016 itself, you joined Indian Postal and Telecom Account Service.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And now you are ADG.
Yes, sir.
Or you have become DG.
No, sir. That is assistant director. So after that, the promotion is due for director.
Yeah. Okay. Essentially, you are set in life, but still you want civil service. Anything special?
Sir, it's been an enriching experience working in Indian P&T Accounts and Finance Service.
It's a good service.
And yes, I have gained a lot of exposure and gained from the experiences of senior officers in the department as well. But I think, sir, IS provides a wider spectrum of opportunities as far as work domain is concerned. Because currently my work is limited to postal and telecom and accounts and finance in specific. Secondly, sir, I also believe that in central civil service, people usually get to serve in cities and capitals. And in IAS, there's an opportunity to work at the local level. And third reasons is some of the personal reason that IAS, to become an IAS was one of the main goals while writing this exam. So that is also one of the unfulfilled dreams, I believe, sir.
You have been playing snooker.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You still play?
Yes, sir. On and off. Not on a regular basis, but yes, I do, sir.
So, who are the good snooker players of India?
So there's Mr. Pankaj Advani, who plays. Then there is Mr. Yasin Machad. There is Ms. Vidya Pillai and many others, sir.
Pankaj Advani is the leader.
Yes, sir.
You don't play billiards, only snooker.
No, sir. Only snooker.
You did your academy training?
Yes, sir. I did.
LBS?
No, sir. I was in Marichala Reddy Institute in Hyderabad, Telangana, where I did my special
That was your
foundation course.
department.
Yes.
Okay.
The foundation and the master.
You found it from?
No, sir. The foundation was at Marichala Reddy, and then the staff course is in Delhi, sir. So the foundation courses, one is in Lavasa. I did not do it the first time. So there was a special foundation course in January that was held. So I attended that in Telangana, sir, in Hyderabad.
Oh. So, there is a stalemate in the parliament these days, or 2 or 3 issues. So, let us ascertain your views. To start with Pegasus. What is your view?
So Pegasus is actually a software that is made by a company NSO in Israel, and there is a consortium of journalists, international consortium, that has come up with a list of potential threats whereby this software has been used to snoop or surveil upon some journalists or activists or some politicians. So the opposition in the country is trying to have a dialogue on the floor of the parliament regarding this. However, Honorable Minister of Communications has also given a statement in this regard on the floor of the Parliament, whereby he has stated that there is no possibility of an illegal surveillance happening in the country.
You agree with that view?
So on the factual basis, currently many of the details are not out as far as the surveillance program is concerned. But yes, I believe if there could be an investigation or thorough, there could be some, as the matter is also sub judice in the Supreme Court. I believe Supreme Court will accordingly rule on this matter, sir.
Okay. The second one is the agriculture laws related to agriculture. 3 laws. So what is your view about that?
So 3 laws were passed by the parliament, and majorly they are with the intent to include reforms in the agriculture, and majorly marketing reforms. However, there are protests happening at the borders of Delhi by farmers, and who have the apprehension that the existing mandi structure could be demolished, and they could not be assured of MSP. However, sir, I believe that these farm laws and the reforms in agriculture is long pending, and that there's a dire need of technology reforms and the cold chain facility and the marketing reforms as such in the agriculture which are required, sir. But yes, there could be a thorough consultation and with the farmers and all the stakeholders for that matter to come to an amicable solution, I believe, sir.
Okay. Uh, there is a feeling now that the postal department at one point of time was going slightly downhill, has had a rebirth. It is now turning to be a major banking institution, uh, connecting and serving the rural hinterland. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree?
So Indian Postal Department has a lot of history behind that, and it was set up by the British Department. However, after independence, the many reforms that have taken place. Surely, sir, the kind of network the Indian Postal Department holds with its more than 1.5 lakh post offices in the country and a large force of dakiyas or Gram Dak Sevaks that are there, sir. And accordingly, with the recent IPPP that has come to the fore, sir, there are possibility of major digital financial inclusion revolution taking place in the country, sir. And also due to its network, that network would be leveraged for delivery of services and for delivery of government health programs as well, sir. However, there needs to be a reskilling of the personnel in the department, and accordingly that has to be taken up by the department, sir.
And during the pandemic, postal department was the fastest method of sending something from one place to another.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You take interest in international relations.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How is your equation with China?
So currently, whatever the developments that have been taking on the eastern side of the border of the country, there are some progressions that have happened since the border standoff with China. Yesterday only, there has been a retreat of the troops from the Gogra point, sir. So, as far as China is concerned, I believe, sir, the two premise of diplomatic relationship are certainty and predictability. However, as far as China is concerned, there is a considerable trust deficit when it comes to our diplomacy. So we have to take a segmented approach whereby we identify the areas of cooperation and the other are areas of competition. And there are some unresolved issues which concern border disputes, trade disputes. So competition could be in terms of the trade that is there. And in cooperation, for example, we have a lot of similarities as far as our climate change commitments are concerned, or our WTO disputes against the Western countries are concerned. So we have to take a calibrated approach as far as China is concerned.
But what about their expansionist policies every time? We forward our hand and they ditch us. They stab us. Like happened in Galwan, like happened in Goa, like happened in many other. How do you say?
Is it because of the perceive us as a competitor to their hegemony in this region. Is it so?
Surely, sir, China has renewed hegemonic aspirations, and with its wolf warrior diplomacy and Xi Jinping's endeavor to have national rejuvenation and claiming the borders, which they think they have lost due to unfair foreign agreements or treaties that they were imposed. So there is a sense of nationalism that is brewing in the country, and the kind of political setup and the government setup that China has with one-party democracy. There's a lot of authoritarianism in the policy, and that those expansionist tendencies are manifested.
So, but they have a different, I'm sorry I'm interrupting in between, but they have a different stance in terms of Russia. They are sharing their border with Russia. Then their policy is different. They are not so aggressive in that part. They are very aggressive over here.
They want to take back the border situation in their dynastic ruling dynasty or something. But not vis-a-vis Russia.
Sir, I believe China is aware of its power dynamics as far as its borders are concerned or diplomatic policies are concerned. Russia may have gotten weak after the Soviet breakup. However, it is still one of the forces in the world power, sir. So I believe China would be hesitant towards Russia, any expansionist policies towards Russia. But with India, they have, I'm just putting up China, what China would think in the diplomacy, sir, that they think that they have a chance to grab some territorial area or the maritime supremacy in the Indian Ocean, sir. So that may be the view that stems or that drives their such diplomatic aspirations, sir.
Okay.
Wageesh, which dance form you practice?
So I'm majorly into Western dance. I'm getting trained in open style choreography, urban and ISO.
How do you see the future of e-commerce in India now?
So e-commerce, I believe, has a very bright future considering the immense compounded annual growth rate the sector has shown, sir. And with the digital penetration and the telecom revolution that has happened, and also one of the opportunities that pandemic has given, the positive, positive fallout of the pandemic has been the digital penetration in the country, sir. So the e-commerce has been not only reaching to tier 1, but tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. Moreover, sir, there is a fierce competition as well in the country between the big players. So there is also, as far as the competition is concerned, it is always beneficial for the consumer because there is again a price competition, price wars happen. So ultimately, it is benefiting the citizens of the country, sir.
And which e-commerce giants in India would you like to name a few?
So Amazon is one of the giants, and Flipkart is there. However, there are some D2C platforms as well, the direct-to-consumer platform, who are not on e-commerce. There are some, for example, Nykaa, or there are very small e-commerce players as well.
Wageesh, in the present scenario of big data, lot of our personal information on cloud, how can we safeguard our privacy?
So with the recent interconnectedness and as a fallout of the globalization, the internet revolution, there has been a certain vulnerability that has been exposed in terms of cyber attacks. What happened in Estonia or what has been perpetrated by China on other countries as state-sponsored cyber terrorism is deplorable, sir. But as far as India is concerned, sir, I believe we have developed some kind of cyber defense capabilities, but it is high time that we develop offensive capabilities. Because until unless we have such capabilities or we skill our personnel in this, we cannot compete in this space. And cyber warfare is becoming another domain in the area of defense of any country, sir.
Okay. And how do you see the recent controversy that took place between government of India and some social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook? What is their present status?
So social media is a very empowering tool. However, with the IT rules that came up by the government, sir, they were to regulate the social media because social media, as has been said by Noam Chomsky, that it's a double-edged sword, sir. There are various positive fallouts, but the negatives like fake news or rumors or hate mongering, that also happens on social media. So as to curb these ills, there were IT rules that were set up, and accordingly, Twitter did not agree to some operational compliances like appointing nodal officers or grievance redressal officers who could be resident Indians. So, the yesterday's statement of Honorable Minister of State of Technology, he has said that the Twitter is not involved in any anti-national activities. However, it is yet to comply with the IT rules, and I believe, sir, this is part of the digital sovereignty, sir. And if there are rules and laws of the land, they have to be abided by citizens or the companies alike, sir.
How do you see the implementation of CSR in our country? Is it working fine, or we need to make some changes?
So CSR is one of the good tools which can be leveraged for the social development of the country, and all the companies are actually socially responsible to the citizens as well. We have adequate provisions in the Companies Act regarding CSRs, where 1.5% of the past profits have to be given out. However, sir, more detailed nuances of the rules of CSR need to be built, whereby not only focusing upon one trust or one kind of work, there could be a distributed prioritization of areas where the companies could spend, and some checks also could be there in regard of CSR, so that misuse of these funds or these provisions could not take place.
Thank you, Wageesh.
Thank you, sir.
Only question. How can we compete among those players like DHN and Blue Dart and all that globally in terms of cost? Though we have the cheapest packages available in this country, still we are not able to cope up with the competition now. Why?
So I think seeing Indian Postal Department as a competition to the private players would not be fair to its objectives, because it caters to the public welfare objective as well, sir. However, yes, I believe catering to the public welfare objective could be, if there could be some profits or dividends to the government, that would be really good. So yes, sir, I believe there could be a tariff rationalization, because the tariffs of the Indian Postal Department are at the very low, and they have not been revised in many years. And secondly, sir, I believe the skilling of the people of the Indian postmen, the Gram Dak Sevaks, that could be done, whereby they are more digitally.
That is what my question is. Why can't we don't stand in competition with these players? Why? So we have a low tariff, huge, workforce, huge setup, it's a big setup we got, and we are still not doing good.
So I believe the reason lies in the operational details, whereby the delays that happened in the Indian Postal Department, and the slow work that is happening as far as the logistics is concerned. So we need to ramp up our capabilities as far as our logistics transportation is concerned in the Indian Postal Department, sir.
Any bright future you see?
Surely, sir, Indian Postal Department has done many good work in the country. And since the logistics is one of the critical areas of the economy in the upcoming times, Indian Postal Department will surely play a much bigger role.
Thank you very much.